Hello friends, I am Yash Mahajan, currently studying in 6th sem, pursuing MTech IT from IIPS DAVV. This is video presentation assignment given by our faculty Dr. Nitin Nagar sir. My topic is handling HTTP GET request and handling HTTP POST request. Let's get started. First of all, what is HTTP request? The request sent by the computer to a web server contains all sorts of potentially interesting information. It is known as HTTP request. Two common methods for the request response between a server and client are get. First, get method, it requests the data from a specified resource. Second, post method, it submits the process data to a specified resource. Handling HTTP GET and POST request. First, now we know that client can make the request to the web server using HTTP protocol. There is HTTP servlet class in which two important methods doGet and doPost used to handle HTTP request. DoGet method. When we submitting his request using doGet method, then the URL string displays the request submitting by user. It means that when the user enters data, it will be seen on the URL. For doPost, when we submitting his request using doPost method, then the URL string does not show the request submitting by user. It means that when the user enters data, it will be not shown on the URL. It provides security. Below is the diagram where you can see that there is client, machine, server, servlet class. In servlet class, there are two methods, doGet and doPost. When client request by get method, it is done by doGet method, and get response, it will get response. When the client send post request to server, it will get post response by doPost method. There are two methods in class servlet, doGet method, doPost method. doGet will by doGet method the user data can be seen on the URL. By doPost method, the data cannot be seen on URL. doPost provides security. It is mostly used. Next, servlet for handling HTTP GET request. The doGet method is invoked by server through service method to handle a HTTP GET request. This method also handles HTTP head request automatically, as head request is nothing but a GET request having no body in the code for response and only includes request header fields. The doGet method of HTTP servlet class is overridden to handle the HTTP GET request. The two parameters passed to the doGet method are request and response. The objects of HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response interface respectively. The required object allows to read data provided in the client request, and response object is used to develop response for the client request. The get parameter method of HTTP servlet request interface is used to retrieve data attached to the URL sent to the server. For example, consider the URL in the address bar of figure. The string appearing to the right of question mark known as query string contains the parameters for the HTTP GET request. Now let's see example of doGet method. I have made a program of add to number program I have made. It is index.html page where form name my form method get action add to num. I have first number is n1, second number is n2, input type submit button is there. This is program where public class is add to number, public void doGet method is there. Now I will run it. Enter first number 7, enter second number 2. 7 plus 2 9. You can see that it by doGet, with the help of doGet method, the data is seen on the URL n1 7 and 2 equal to 2, and the result is 9. If therefore I method is post, and in place of doGet, if it is doPost, the data is not seen on URL. doPost provides security. Servlet for handling HTTP post request. Like doGet method, the doPost method is invoked by server through service method to handle HTTP post request. The do post method is used when large amount of data is required to be passed to the server, which is not possible with the help of do get method. In do get method, parameters are appended to the URL, whereas in do post method, parameters are sent in separate line in the HTTP request body. The do get method is most likely used when some information is to be retrieved from the server, and the do post method is used when data is to be updated on the server or data is to be submitted to the server. Next, differences between get request and post request. There are some differences between get request and post request, which are: in case of get request, only limited amount of data can be sent because data is sent in header. In case of post request, large amount of data can be sent because data is sent in body. Get request is not secured because data is exposed in URL bar. Post request is secured because data is not exposed in URL bar. Get request can be bookmarked. Post request cannot be bookmarked. Get request is idempotent. It means second request will be ignored until response of first request is delivered. Post request is non-idempotent. Get request is more efficient and used more than post. Post request is less efficient and used less than get. Next topic is send redirect method in servlet. The send redirect method of HTTP servlet response interface can be used to redirect response to another resource. It may be servlet, JSP or HTML file. The send redirect method redirect response to another resource. It may be servlet, JSP or HTML file. It accepts relative as well as absolute URL, which means that relative can be http www.google.com. It is full HTTP protocol, where absolute can be google.com. It will accept. The send redirect method works at client side. It always sends a new request. It can be used within and outside the server. Now let's see example of send redirect method. There is a Java file in which we use a send redirect method, which will take us to www.core.in. It is we have used annotation so that we have to not worry about the XML mapping. It is an index HTML page where form action my searcher, input type text, name, input type, submit value Google search. You can see that in a picture the Google search is there, and I have written some code, some website here which will take us to the Google site and it will search. Thank you. If you like the video, please like and comment it.